the Stanley Cup Finals, shifting back to Tampa Bay. And boy, has it been ugly for the Lightning so far. Down 2-0 in the series, coming off a 7-0 drubbing against the Avalanche in Denver on Saturday night. The lines for game 3 are as follows. Colorado's minus 115, road favorite. Tampa Bay minus 105. The over-under at 6. The series line minus 600 for Colorado to win the Stanley Cup, plus 450 on the Bolts. Colorado is 14-2 in the playoffs, plus 33 goal differential, 76 goals scored in 16 games, 43 allowed. And they've won 7 in a row. All of this is pointing in one direction, which is like you're getting all. Think about all the numbers I just read off, and you're still getting this team at minus 115, which I think is a little crazy. And I think it goes to something we've talked about a lot here, which is a lot of times bookmakers will bake in a premium on teams that are looking to avoid going down 3-0 in a series, especially if that team is a 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion. Is that what you think is happening here?
I think so. Going into this series, when we were previewing the series, we even before that, we've talked at length about how Tampa Bay needs some time to get into series. And one thing I had reservations about with Tampa Bay was that I felt that if you're doing that against this Colorado team, you might just run out of time. They almost did run out of time against the Rangers. They were down 2-0 in game 3. So I think that I can see it here where you look at the way that the game is being played, like what you're seeing on the ice is being supported for the most part by what the metrics are coming out after the game as well. Colorado is dominating. Tampa Bay right now does not have any answer for the speed of Colorado. I thought that after game 1, Tampa Bay would be able to make adjustments to try to at least clean up their own end, right? And they just weren't able to. Colorado is just on them right away. Their forecheck, Tampa Bay keeps turning it over in the neutral zone. And if you're not able, for a team like Tampa Bay, who is great at making adjustments, if you're not able to do that after game 1 going to game 2, why do you think that they'll be able to do that from game 2 going into game 3? Right? So in that sense, I do like Colorado. You asked about the premium of the line here. So I don't think we're there yet. I think the Colorado number is going to get better. I think that as the day goes on, we're going to see money coming in on Tampa Bay. I think that there's a lot of element of you, like we've talked about this before, where team down 0-2 coming back home, they are going to take the money. So I think that we are going to see Tampa Bay money coming in throughout the day. So I will be on Colorado. It's just a matter of at what point I'll be entering the market.
Yeah, I think a couple of things kind of make me think that look, we're not going to count the Lightning out. Nobody's counting the Lightning out, right? Like, this is a 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion. They have the best goalie in the world behind them. They're going to play better. And one of the things that is making me think that this team, the Lightning that is, can hang with Colorado, or a way that they can hang with Colorado, says they just don't give up 3 goals in the first period. You give up 2 goals in the first 10 minutes in 2 games. What does that do? That automatically opens up a contest, right? Like, so all of a sudden you're chasing the game. You need to start playing a little bit more risky. And that's exactly what Colorado wants. Like, they want you to maybe make a pass that is 50-50, because if they pick that thing off, they're going the other direction with speed. And that their whole game is predicated on speed. So my betting angle here is, I think this is going to be a very, very low scoring, low event start to the game. So like a first period under, I think, will be interesting, especially because the first periods of the series have, I think, produced 7 goals, 6-1 in advantage for Colorado. So the numbers should be inflated a little bit. And secondly, I think Tampa Bay is going to have to sell out to play 1995, 1996 New Jersey Devils, Jacques Lemaire style hockey, right? 1-2-2, and just do everything in their power to slow down a game. Because they don't have a chance otherwise. Like they don't. So I think the under is a good bet. I like the derivatives off that. Maybe I shouldn't bet Andre Vasilevsky to pitch another shutout, but I probably will. But I think instead of betting the side, I think I'll be looking for derivatives and off of a low scoring, low event game on Monday night.
Yeah, so I do see where you're coming from, and I was thinking that way between games 1 and game 2. I did bet the under in game 2, and I felt unfortunate. I thought that was a pretty unlucky loss on that under, but I think you're right that Colorado does need to make it a high event game for them to have success. However, the only thing I'll say to that, and we touched on this in the preview as well, is that Colorado has shown that they're okay playing low event games, right? Like when they need to tighten up defensively, we've seen that throughout these playoffs. That Nashville series, there was no need to. Like neither team was gonna, like Nashville wasn't gonna get into a low event game even if they tried. Like it just it just wasn't going to work out with that goaltending. So you put that Nashville series away. You saw in the St. Louis series when Colorado wanted to make that a low event game, they did, and they were fine. We saw that in the Edmonton series as well after game 1, where games 2 and 3, especially Colorado was able to choke them out. So and if I did feel that way after game 1, but again, I ask that if Tampa Bay couldn't do that between games 1 and 2, why are they going to do it between games 2 and 3? Right. So, and it could be matchups. I think that that being at home, they might be able to get the matchups they need. So I think that that'd be something to look out for as well.
Yeah, and I think what you were just saying about Colorado is part of the reason I like the under bets, right? Because let's say the first 10 minutes, it's just gummed up. Anthony Cirelli has found his form. The McDonough-Chernak defense pairings working against the McKinnon line, and it is a slog. Colorado's just going to settle into that. They're going to say, "All right, we're not going to try to force the issue. We're not going to take this game off the rails just because we prefer that style." Like they've like you said, they've shown a maturity, I guess, of taking what's in front of them. So if Tampa does come out and just play that 1-2-2 dead puck era style, I think Colorado's open to it. Like they'll be open to it. And I think that's why I'm not terribly concerned about this game getting out of hand early if Tampa is able to succeed in this style. So that's where I'm looking. I think the unders are in play. Maybe the game to go to overtime. Just those kind of derivatives, betting off of the script that this is going to be a tight chess match style game with Cooper making I know we said this before, but making the adjustments now coming home where he can get the matchups he wants. I also think like for game 1, we sort of saw Colorado settle into that style a little bit where they didn't want to make the mistake when after Tampa tied it to make it 3-3, the ice was still tilted towards the Tampa net, towards Vasilevsky. But it wasn't the run and gun style that we saw out of Colorado in the first period or that we saw in all 3 periods of game 2. So we've seen a little bit of it, and that period ended 0-0 in those 20 minutes. So this game, it behooves Tampa to get it to be a rock fight. Colorado, I think, will be okay with playing that style. So that's my betting. I'm going to go under 6. I'm going to go for maybe a first period under, game to go to overtime, but I'll be betting off of the low scoring game.
Yeah, I like that. I think that like I raise points to kind of like dig like deeper, but in the end, I think you're right that like even if Tampa Bay can't get there to the style they want to play, even in that 7-0 game, Colorado was still playing very well defensively. So Colorado's fine playing this game, whether they're winning or or if they're tied in like a tight game. So I think that um, I'm hoping that that price gets a little bit cheaper on the under, but
Right.
I would definitely be looking at that as well.